Hey, welcome to round one of this league with Sultai Ninjas. This is me on the plane. Nice. Always like seeing that. Ooh, my hand is got small here. That's better. And our opponent revealed a Yorion. Good to know, good to know. I'm sure they're going to keep this. I don't think it's a good hand, since I don't have either a ninja or a changeling to curve into, but let's just see what this kind of hand can do for us. Bosh and roll mulligans 2/6 cards. Always like to see it. I have no clue how we're going to do with this deck, but I like it. Alright, I'll just start on a tropical and say go. I have 3 lands, so that's enough that I don't necessarily need to play around the wasteland, and I definitely want to try and cast my brainstorm before I fetch. Besides you, so probably on show on Doomsday. That does mean that I want to put as much pressure on them as I can, since I'm not beating beside you with counterspells. So this does put pressure on them. I can keep a blue spell for Force of Will and then play 2 changelings and change them into bears. And I'm just going to draw the other one. So that's quite a lot of pressure, but it's not super fast. But it's better than whatever else we could do, I think. I'm not going to bother with getting a basic here, I think. So just going to slam the C. The changeling and see if we can pressure them enough. Probably not, but it's something. Ooh, Tundra. So it's a blue-white show then maybe? Or it is a Doomsday list with some other stuff in it. With the fairies. I'm definitely just gonna take the attack here and then play the bears. I'm gonna make them bear ninjas. Our opponent's probably very happy now that we didn't play a ninja, since that would be uncounterable and put a lot more pressure on them. I think it's pretty likely that they force here if they have it. And I'm just gonna force back because of ooh, Jinkataxius. Interesting. I think I'm gonna force back. I just have no pressure if I don't. So because I didn't have any ninjas drawn, this is the only thing that I have that puts on pressure. So yeah, they can pay for days with that. So okay, that's sad. So they're more controlling than I expected, I guess. They did show a Jinkataxia, so it's Yorion. I think still. I expect show control deck. I have no clue what they're messing with here. Torp Orb. Yeah, that I don't care about. I don't think so, at least. So second bass. Target those two. Yeah. Now next turn, if they play something that's not too big, I get to deal 8 to a creature. So it's like a Gristlebrand. I get to kill it. If they put it into this turn cycle. Now the question is, if they take 8 here, do I want to play out my second bass, or do I fear something like Terminus? I think so. If I play another 2/2, then I can kill them through Source Closures if they have to use Beside You. I think that's going to be enough. I don't know how likely it is that they have a Terminus here, so I'm just going to do it like this. To try and kill through a Source Closures or some other blocker. We got there, but I honestly still have no clue what our opponent is doing here. So. I mean, it has to be somewhat control-ish, but the Beside You really throws me off. I definitely want Narset and Caracas, I think. Veil of Summer is probably good. Dawnseas is probably good. Flissustorm is probably good. Nascent Metamorph, probably good against them as well, but they could have a bunch of Snapcasters and stuff. But if it becomes Jinkataxias like even half of the time, or like even a third of the time, I think it's worth playing it. And then there's Carpet of Flower, Mass Vandal, and Brazen Borer, all as interesting options. I don't think I want Baleful Strix. I think Baz is probably one of my worst ways to try and close the game, so I'm gonna trim on those. I think, for example, the Brazen Borer is better than Baz in this case. And since I'm trimming on those, I probably want to take out the Mud Dust. Well, it is blue. Borers, Narsets. Yeah, I'm just gonna take out more Bears. Oh, wait, I had the case here. So now it's, do I want a Bears back in, a Changeling back in, Mass Vandal, or Carpet of Flowers? Mass Vandal can be good if they show and tell, but I do need to have a creature in my graveyard then, which is unlikely if they play Sword Explosions. I'm probably just gonna try and keep some consistency here. But I could be way off with what I'm sideboarding. Maybe just another blue card is better than... Oh wait, the Fatal Push is still in there. Yeah, like that now. I almost forgot to take that out, but... Let's see if we can steal another game. I surely thought I was dead when I saw the Beside You in turn 1. I think I'm going to keep this. I can play this on turn 1, then if I thought I can land in 2 draws, I get the Yuriko on turn 2 and have a Force backup. And if I don't, I can Brainstorm and have a Veil plus Force for a turn longer. Yeah, seems like it's worth it. We just have the Ninja, Yuriko, a Force and Veil and cantrips, so it's probably about as good as we can hope for. See if Bosch and roll what they decide to do. They also keep 7 this time, so let's see if they open up on Beside You again. Yeah, it's probably just a one-off, one I'm very afraid of. Let's see, this does mean that I can fetch other colors, but I'm gonna Brainstorm turn 2 anyway, over keeping Veil of Summer up. So I'm gonna get green with my second land probably. So I'm fine with getting black here. And then it's just better to get the outcast out there, since I can pitch this to foe, and it's less likely that it gets messed up. If I didn't have that, there's a small chance that I have to try and fight over removal spells, but no, I don't think I would. Just have to dig for lands. Urborg. Alright. Hitting me. So, do I think Force of Will and Changeling are my worst cards? Yeah. I think the chance that they hit Yuriko here is just too bad for me. So that's basically the only thing I've got going on. It's rough up again. This there, another land, but this is still a fine card. At least it gives me a counter. Oh, that was good. So now I can keep both of these. And keep Veil up, and next turn have Yuriko plus Veil. That does mean I would shuffle away 2 cantrips. But I think that's worth it. Or I can shuffle away the Swamp. And just step out of Veil next turn. I can always tap this for black if they don't do anything. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is gonna put Brainstorm Ponder back. Just attack here. And if I don't need the green, I can always just tap this for black and don't crack if I want to draw the top cards from my deck. Or keep it uncracked. So I think top decking a Ponder is good here. If they have a swords, they're probably gonna swords this here after blocks. Just have to, they have a black spell or don't have it, it's also good. Now let's see if you can get the card advantage rolling. And I don't think I want to cast the Changeling outcast here. Because I can keep up the Veil of Summer now, which I think is more powerful. Let's see what they get. Correction in life. Alright, different kind of combo than I thought, no? So without anything else, this isn't worth too much for them. But yeah. I think I'm gonna fire off, since I'm drawing this many cards, I think I'm gonna fire off the Brainstorm instead. Oh, am I? Yeah, I think I want to spend my mana. I'm not too afraid of a Sorcerer Closures here, because I have the days. I want to get green. So I definitely don't want to draw that. And yeah, I do get punished for not playing the Outcast last turn here. But let's see, I want to shuffle. Probably get a basic here just in case. And I'll attack first. See what that gives me. And then start expanding on the board. I hope to find a Thoughtseize or something like that. Narset also has to be good, I think. That does mean I'm tapping out of Veil. But I don't really have counters at the moment, so Either I do that or I hope they don't have anything next turn or fourth turn. This digs me towards a foss. Yeah, I think it's just more important. It's risky. Like if they fold here, I'm completely tapped out of first 8 days. Or but I think Narset is just so good. I have to try. Sadly, didn't find a false. I think I want to start on minusing. I'm really happy that I found the Tatsi, since that's finally gonna let me see what they're working with. They could talk to cast a Force of Will, but then I have the days or the Veil for it. Just try dazing that first. Yeah, this just works out so great for me. Everything came up Peter this game. Ooh, except for the Narset activation then. Oh wait, they didn't have a hand anymore. Oh, so like, yeah, and then I'm gonna cast that thing. Yeah, I'll definitely want the Force of Will. Oh wait, should have put it the other way around, but that's fine, since that would let them lose a lot more life. Let's see what they're doing. They could return the Yorion. It's the turn after. Hex Mage, that kills my Narset and probably does something else with what they have. I'm gonna draw so many cards. I just don't want to risk them having a Dark Depths, since that's a card I can't counter and also don't have removal for. Like, I have the Caracas, but yeah, just too risky. Let's get us some cards back. They're getting put their Adnazan on top of their library. Yeah, that was greedy. That's Force of Will, I think. Yeah, I'd missed it. They probably had a Mystic Sanctuary in their deck. Or I have to hit off these. Just completely missed on it. No clue what this does for me, but yeah, they're gonna outnose him, and we're gonna die. That was bad. I was just playing way too loose because I figured I had won the game, which I clearly didn't. Let's see what their deck does. So sadly for me, they do have a land drop, so even if they would normally maybe rely on battles solely, yeah, get it a bit more easily now. Ah, that was so bad. I really should have just let the Hexmage resolve. And should have seen earlier how many cards they had in their deck. I'm being really bad. But let's hope we can win game 3 against Battle of Wits combo. But I just want to see what they have that makes mana. I'm guessing they have like 4 petals in their deck then? Or maybe Mox Diamonds, or... So this is basically 3 color, a bunch of combos and control cards. Fun deck. I had some people that used to play in battle with variants back in the day, like a lot, and they changed the variant they played. So when you were facing him, you saw they had a 250 card deck. But one time it was like all 1-drops ever printed, so just Battle of Wits aggro. The other time it was Battle of Wits control. Some Battle of Wits Enchantress versions. But let me see what their mana sources are. They're in the second half of their deck. Right? What did I miss? So they're gonna discard a bunch of stuff to their end step. Wait, they have 1 mana, but what are they gonna do with that? Oh, they have 2 mana of the tomb, of course. No, that gives black, so they call it therapy. Me. Alright. I'm wondering what the win was. Like, if they have the mana just to kill me here with something this turn, then they would have not stopped, I guess. But since they did stop, I'm probably just completely missing something they have, or they just can't win here. Or they just figured they're gonna untap anyway, and just... They expect that I can't. Is this loss of life? Yeah, so I only deal like 4 damage to them. 5 maybe. They expect that their 7 cards beats whatever, how many cards I see this turn. I don't think that's a weird thought of them. And I could try and figure out what they keep in their hands, but I'm gonna dodge them and figure out from there. I'm expecting they keep a supreme verdict and some kind of way to kill me. Force of will. Maybe a second. They need like a second verdict then. Because they know I have a Tassis. Or they're just gonna keep all combo cards and don't care about my board. That could also be reasonable. They probably have multiple Mystic Sanctuaries in their deck, but I don't know how many they saw in these cards. And they're going to do a lot of clicking, I guess. But I can't concede here. I don't think I'm necessarily dead, so. But I really do need like at least 2 counters in my next bunch of draws that I get here. I'm gonna see a lot of cards though, but like 7 new cards. If I played like something like the Changeling last turn, I would have seen a lot more cards, but yeah. Got greedy, thought I was winning. It's fun to play against this deck though and see them do their thing a bit. And these will have a bit more information for game 3 as well, if they get there. At least when you're playing against this deck in paper, you know it. You can miss like how many cards do they have in their deck? I saw Yorion, so I just assumed 80. In paper, when your opponent hands you like a pile of cards, and it's pretty clear that they're on a Battle of Wits deck. But yeah. So I'm gonna hit them for 4, they're gonna get 4 poison. So basically what that means is I still have to try and win fair and square. Does Battle of Wits trigger immediately on the upkeep? Upkeep, I guess. Beginning of your upkeep, yeah, so I get a second attack in, probably. So I'm just gonna, no, let's try and find, we only have 1 Veil Summer in deck, let's try and find the days though first. And I should also put those the other way around in case I want to brainstorm in the middle. But System is good. Default is good against their Vox. And another counter is also good. So those are some pretty good draws. I'll just start with Totsies. Which I assume they're gonna have to counter. Or try at least. So they kept Practical Negation, Show and Tell, Double Misdirection, Omniscience, and Battle of Wits. Battle of Wits is 5 mana, so they can't kill all my creatures and get Battle of Wits. So if I make sure that I have enough damage that they have to Supreme Verdict. On the other hand, so they would Show and Tell, Omniscience, and then have nothing. Since they don't know the top card of their deck. If I take the Supreme Verdict, I think it's pretty hard for them to win here. Just let them have their Battle of Wits, which only triggers in their next upkeep. And what I'll do now, they're probably gonna try and counter. No, wait, I have 5 mana, so this is Forceful Negation Flusterstorm. So I should just play this. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Yeah, I'll just do it like this then. So they can't counter my lethal pressure. And one of these. Oh, I guess I could play this one and still have enough mana up. Should have just cast it with the Mutavault. So I win through a Swords of Plowshare then? Maybe? I just have to the first turn, is good, I guess. Yeah, the Ancient Tombs give you 2 poison. What this does do is let me cast my Brainstorm before the Flusterstorm for more storm. Could be relevant. So I can cast this with the Mutavault and these 2. Brainstorm fetch for blue, I guess. Tropical. Yeah, I still have Underground Sea remaining. I want to be able to shuffle. Yeah, I don't need all my cards either, so I'm gonna do it like this. The effect of negation that. So let's resolve. Then I'll Brainstorm. Don't find anything useful there. Okay, I won a match. It wasn't clean, it wasn't good, but I won the match. Yeah, that was something else. I was totally missing how many cards I had in their deck. With way too greedy with my Force of Will, which made them have the announcement in the first place. But we won, and I was just playing ninjas, so we won. I'll take it, and I see you folks in the next round. Thank you for watching.